The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
സൃഷ്ടി ഒരു വർഷത്തിന് ശേഷം വീണ്ടും ഗുരുകുലത്തിന്റെ തിരുമുറ്റത്ത്, അതും നമ്മുടെ സുഗതകുമാരി മേഡത്തിന്റെ ഈ ഒരു വേർപാടിന്റെ വേദനയിൽ നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ വേരറ്റു വീഴാത്ത തണൽ മരം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് സൃഷ്ടി ഉണ്ടാക്കിയ ടീമിന് ഹർഷബോധനം ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി മാതൃകയായിരിക്കുകയാണ്. വെറൈറ്റി ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യവുമായി തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നമുക്ക് ഈ സൃഷ്ടി എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ കുട്ടികളുടെ മനസ്സിൽ ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ അവരുടെ കലാവിരുന്ന് പ്രകടിപ്പിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു മഹത്തായ ഒരു സംരംഭമാണ് സൃഷ്ടി. അപ്പൊ ആ സൃഷ്ടിയെ വീണ്ടും ഈ കോവിഡ് സമയത്ത് ഓർമ്മപ്പെടുത്തിയ ഹർഷബോധനം ടീമിന് നമസ്കാരം. കൺഗ്രാറ്റുലേഷൻസ്. ഗ്രേറ്റ് ജോബ്. ഗുഡ്.
നമസ്കാരം. പ്രകൃതിയെ സ്നേഹിച്ച്, പൂക്കളെ സ്നേഹിച്ച്, പറവകളെ സ്നേഹിച്ച്, നദികളെ സ്നേഹിച്ച്, നന്മയുള്ള മനുഷ്യനെ സ്നേഹിച്ച് ലോകത്തിന് മാതൃക കാട്ടിയ സുഗതകുമാരി ടീച്ചർക്ക് ഞങ്ങൾ ഗുരുകുലം കുടുംബത്തിന്റെ എല്ലാവിധ മംഗളങ്ങളും നേരുകയാണ്. ആ സ്നേഹമയമായ വാക്കുകളിലൂടെ ലോകത്തെ മുഴുവൻ തന്റെ കൈപ്പിടിയിലൊതുക്കിയ അവരുടെ മുൻപിൽ തിരിച്ചു നമിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് അവരുടെ ഏറ്റവും പ്രശസ്തമായ വരികൾ 4 വരി ഞാൻ പറയാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. ആരു ചവട്ടിത്താഴ്ത്തിലും ഇരുളിൻ പാതാളത്തിലൊളിക്കിലും ഏതോ പൂർവസ്മരണയിൽ ആഹ്ലാദത്തിൻ ലോകത്തെത്തും ഹൃദയം കടലയെല്ലാം വീണക്കമ്പികളായി മുറുക്കി കരളാൽ പഴയൊരു തുടി കൊട്ടി പുതുപാട്ടുകൾ പാടി രസിക്കും മാനവഹൃദയം. ഒരു താരകയെ കാണുമ്പോൾ അത് രാവു മറക്കും, പുതുമഴ കാൺകെ വരൾച്ച മറക്കും, പാൽച്ചിരി കാൺകെ മൃതിയെ മറന്ന് സുഖിച്ചേ പോകും പാവം മാനവഹൃദയം.
Hello children, welcome back to our English class. Today is the last day of this year 2020. Yes, tomorrow is our new year 2021. Yes, have you taken any resolutions? That means decisions. You will wake up early, obey your parents. I know my sweet children are very sweet. Yes, nice children. You are my sweetheart. So always be smart, be alert in your work. Study well in the upcoming year. Okay children, now a small recap of Happy Prince. The Happy Prince was a statue. It's having ruby and sapphires. The Happy Prince got a new friend, Swallow, which helped Happy Prince to help that boy. The swallow helped the Happy Prince by giving the ruby to a boy. Again, the Happy Prince asked the swallow to stay with him one more night. So now the Happy Prince was going to help another man. who he was. Let's see that. Take page number 117, the writer. The next morning, the prince said, "Swallow, swallow, little swallow, far away across the city, I see a young man. He is leaning over a desk covered with papers. His hair is brown and crisp, and his lips are red as a pomegranate. He is trying to finish a play. Hunger has made him faint." Okay, children, what Happy Prince asked the swallow? "My dear swallow, across the city, that's beyond my city, I saw a man. He is leaning over a desk." Leaning means bent, കിടക്കുകയാണ്. "Covered with papers. His hair is brown and crisp." Crisp means no oil. He is not having any money, maybe. Why he is laying there? Let's see. He is trying to finish a play because he was a writer. എഴുത്തുകാരനാണ്. He was going to complete a play. Because of his hungriness, he can't able to complete. So, my dear swallow, please help that man. How? Let's see. "I will wait with you here one night longer," said the swallow. "Shall I take him another ruby?" the swallow asked. "Alas, I have no ruby now," said the prince. "My eyes are all that I have left. Now only my eyes are left. They are made of rare sapphires brought out of India 1,000 years ago." That sapphires they brought from India 1,000 years ago. So only that sapphires I am having. You can use that. My swallow, take it out. "Pluck out one of them and take it to him." That's what Happy Prince told. Did the swallow accept that? Let's see. "Dear Prince," said the swallow, "I cannot do that." And he began to weep. "I won't do that. This cruel thing, I won't do it." The swallow started weeping. That's crying. "Swallow, swallow, little swallow," said the prince, "do as I command you." I'm the prince. I'm commanding you. Do it. Don't ask me or don't say to me anything. So the swallow plucked out the prince's eye and flew away to the young man. The young man did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings. So the poor swallow removed that sapphire, that is one sapphire, from one of the eye and flew over to that man and went near to that man. But he did not hear that swallow's fluttering. ചിറകിട്ട് അടിക്കുന്നത് അവൻ കേൾക്കണില്ല. Why? Because of his hungriness. Okay, children, when he looked up, he found the beautiful sapphire. That man saw only that sapphire. "I am beginning to be appreciated," he cried. So what this man thought, somebody left it here because I am appreciated. That man or that somebody accepted me as a writer, so they leave this here. That's what that man thought. This is from some great admirer. Somebody admired me, so they gave this as a gift. Now I can finish my play. And he looked quite happy. Okay, that man was happy. Now he is ready to finish that play. Okay, now next page, the little girl. The next day, the swallow flew back to the happy prince. "I have come to bid you goodbye," he cried. "Swallow, swallow, little swallow," said the prince, "will you not stay with me one night longer?" Again, the prince asked the swallow, "Please stay with me one more night." Why, children? That we'll see that why. "It is winter," answered the swallow, "and the chill snow will soon be here." My dear prince, the climate is going to be worse. I should move to the Egypt. Otherwise, I can't bear this chillness. That's what swallow said. But the happy prince asked the swallow, stay with me. Okay. Dear prince, I must leave you, but I will never forget you. I am going to leave you, my dear prince, but I never forget you. Ninne njan marakkilla. That's what swallow said. In the square below, said the prince, there stands a little match girl. She has let her matches fall in the gutter and they are all spoiled. Match girl means a girl who sold the matches. Okay? That girl was selling matches at that time. That whole matches fall in the gutter. Chalille, side in the chalil veenu. Ella matches veenu. But what happened? It spoiled. So that girl, she didn't get money. That's what going to happen. So automatically what that girl's father will do? Yes, he beat that girl. Her father will beat her if she does not bring home some money. Yes, that girl went to sold these matches, fell in the gutter. So she did not get any money. Because of that, father will beat her. So she has no shoes, no stockings and no sweaters. That girl is not having anything to cover her from this winter. That is such a poor girl. That's the thing Happy Prince told to the swallow. So again what Happy Prince is going to say? Pluck out my. Before that, what swallow said? I cannot pluck out your eye. You should be quite blind then, said the swallow. Immediately swallow responded, I won't do that because you will be blind. I won't do. Again, Happy Prince asked. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you. Please do this as my command. So he plucked out prince's other eye and darted down with it. That swallow flew with that sapphire. One more sapphire was there, and that swallow also, the swallow took that sapphire also and flew. Okay, he saw the girl, he slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand. He directly, the swallow directly gave the sapphire to that girl's hand. What a lovely bit of glass, cried the little girl, and she ran home laughing. That girl was so happy because of this sapphire. So she ran home. Then the swallow came back to the prince. You are blind now, he said, so I will stay with you always. Now, my dear prince, you are blind now, so I don't want to go anywhere else. I am going to stay with you. No, little swallow, said the poor prince, you must go away to Egypt. You should go because the winter is very near. I will stay with you always, said the swallow, and he slept at the prince's feet. So, my dear children, what the poor swallow did? It said, no, I will not go. So, by saying that, it slept at the prince's feet. Okay? Next page. The city sight. Dear little swallow, said the prince, fly over my city and tell me what you see there. The swallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry while the beggars were sitting at the gates. He flew into dark lanes and saw the white faces of starving children. Okay. So what happened then? The prince said to the swallow, please, now I can't see anymore, so you better flew over my city and just see what all happening. The bird flew over the city and saw the rich people, they are enjoying because of their money, and the poor, the beggars, they are starving, and the children also. Yes, then he flew back and told the prince that he had seen. What all that bird saw, children? It saw the rich people and the poor, and they are enjoying, and these people are starving, and in the dark lanes, and saw the white faces of starving children. Yes, he flew into dark lanes. That means there was no electricity. In that area, it flew over and saw the people's white faces because of the starving, because of the hungriness. The people's face was white in color. Okay? Then these things the bird told to that prince. So, in return, what prince said? I am covered with fine gold, said the prince. You must take it off leaf by leaf and give it to my poor people. They always think that gold can make them happy. What prince said? My dear swallow, my body is covered with gold. That is leaf by leaf, bit by bit it's covered with gold. Take every leaf and give it to those poor people. Let them be happy because of this gold. So, as such, what swallow did? Leaf by leaf of the fine gold, the swallow picked off till the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. He took it to the poor, and the children's face grew rosier, and they laughed and played game in the streets. We have bread now, they cried. Okay, children. Now, what that bird did, it took leaf by leaf, bit by bit, gold, and handed those things to the poor people. So, now what happened to the prince? The prince looked quite dull and grey. Now, prince ne kanan oru chandam illa, because that brightness parame modi complete poi kazhinju. So, only lead part was there. What about the people? Now they are happy. They said they are having their bread in their hands. Okay. So now the children was happy. Yes, children. Now the children were happy because they had more than enough food to eat. Okay. Now the sacrifice. Who sacrificed the most? Can you guess that? Then the snow came. The poor little swallow grew colder and colder, but he could not leave the prince. He loved him too well. He tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. Okay, children? So, the real climate changed, now full of snow. The bird, it's a small bird, it can't bear the chillness, can't bear the cold. It fluttered its wings to make itself warm, but it can't. That bird cannot able to keep himself warm. So, but at last he knew that he was going to die. He had just strength to fly up to the prince's shoulder once more. That much strength only the bird was having. Just that bird flew over to that prince's shoulder. Goodbye, dear prince, he murmured. Murmured പറഞ്ഞാൽ അത്രയും സൗണ്ടും എല്ലാം പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞു. He was going to die. ആ ഒരു ഗ്യാപ്പ് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. So he said, bye prince. But what prince thought? I am glad that you are going to Egypt at last, little swallow, said the prince. Now, but the prince thought the bird was going to Egypt. It is not to Egypt that I am going, said the swallow. He fell down dead at his feet. Prince can't able to see anything. So, prince thought the bird was flying to Egypt. But really what happened? The bird was dead and fell down at his feet. At that moment, a curious crack sounded inside the statue as if something had broken. The leaden heart had snapped right into two. So what happened there, children? Immediately when the bird died, the body of the leaden part of the prince also broken into two. That means the prince also died. Okay. Now last part, the tragic end. Early the next morning, the mayor was walking in the square below in company with the town councillors. As they passed the column, he looked up at the statue. "Dear me, how shabby the prince looks," he said. So next day, the city mayor was walking in the square below that Happy Prince statue, and just he looked up and find out the statue was very shabby. Shabby means, what's the meaning for shabby? Unpleasant, not attractive. Yes. So what mayor said to his councillors, and here is actually a dead bird at his feet. Continued the mayor, as he is no longer beautiful, he is no longer useful. The Happy Prince now, it's not at all looking beautiful, so it's useless. It's time we pulled down this statue. So my dear, just pull down that statue. So they pulled down the statue of the Happy Prince. Okay, the mayor asked to pull down the statue as it was no longer useful. Yes, children, here the story ends by pulling the statue down. Okay, are you happy or sad with this end, children? It's a beautiful story by Oscar Wilde. Okay, so children, always a coin has two sides, happy or sad, good or bad. But don't give up. Okay, always face it. If you are feeling sadness, face it to be a positive human being. Okay, my dear children, it's a beautiful story. Again, this week also read the story completely 2 or 3 times and write only the meanings and send it to me. Enjoy your new year. Be good and do good. Okay, children, bye. I'll meet you in the next class.